Currently, we are here in the Kangpokpi district, and you can see on my right here, this is the national highway that links Manipur. Now, this highway has seen its fair share of violence, drama, and whatnot since the violence in Manipur started back in 18 months before. We are joined by an authority here, which is the CoTU, apex civil society of the Kangpokpi district, and a spokesperson to know about the issues here. And this is part of our series which we have been doing across Manipur, wherein we have spoken to Mete Valley based civil society organizations such as the COCOMI. We have spoken to the Chief Minister of Manipur, and now we are speaking to someone from the Kuki-Zu community regarding the contradictory aspirations of the people of Manipur. First of all, thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
This highway has seen its fair share of, I would say, violence, drama, and whatnot. First of all, tell us, in these bordering villages between the hills and the valley, where the two populations of the Mete and the Kuki communities stay in close proximity, how is the ground situation right now here? How are the people living here? It's been more than 17 months of the conflict now. How are the people living here?
It's getting from bad to worse, and I think for normalcy to return, I think it'll take a lot of time. And I think this should have been doused by the current dispensation and the incumbent government of the country. I think they are accountable to this.
This is a highway. As you can see on the right, the trucks are coming here. This is a petroleum truck. There are medical supplies, and there are a lot of other essential supplies that come from this route. There is an allegation from the valley-based organizations that the Kuki-Zu community here is blocking these essential supplies, which has led to a loss of essential supplies in the valley, first of all, and rise of prices of essential items. How do you respond to these kind of allegations?
See, this narrative has been propounded by the valley-based people, I mean the radicalized people. So I think they have subscribed to their own lies. See, I think 10 minutes of your presence, you have seen that the trucks are running free with all essential items. So where is it the proof that the Kuki-Zu community have stopped the highway? In fact, the essential commodities that reaches to Imphal, there's no reciprocity from the side of valley-based, from the valley. Our essential medical supplies, including what you call the vaccines, it has not reached the district. So I think it would be biased for the current dispensation to lay blame on the minority Kuki community.
So you can see here, this is a makeshift shelter. We'll speak there. It's a makeshift shelter made here by the CoTU, and you can see the women volunteers are resting here. The women volunteers guard the road. They are sort of filtration, act as a filtration method for the separation of the population. Currently, the divide in Manipur is so high that the Mete and the Kuki community exist as if they are residing in two separate nations.
Definitely.
This divide is very new because it's been more than 18 months, but earlier the population used to mix. You are from Imphal, I guess, and you have to come to Kangpokpi. A lot of Metes also have to leave and go back to Imphal. There was an internal displacement happening.
True.
So how are the internally displaced people right now residing in Kangpokpi, and what is their current financial and health condition?
The IDPs, they are languishing in a very pathetic condition. I think you should go and visit the camps. Unlike the other camps, I don't know, and I can't comment on that. But here in Kangpokpi, the civil organization, the churches, we are doing our best to avail their necessity. But when you know that a state is biased against you, and the supply that has to come from, even from the center, has to pass through the state. And how do we expect the relief essential commodities that would come from the center to reach us? So we cannot always depend on the state, and we are working very hard. But apart from that, I would like to appreciate our district administrator, the DC, I think has done his best in his capacity at this meager, supplies that's coming. I think he's doing good.
One allegation that is made against the Kukizu community is that there are deaths happening right now in Manipur, where a lot of young men have lost their lives. But the Manipur police has taken out a statement stating that the people who are taking up arms are militants. And this is vis-a-vis the recent incident in Jiribam.
Okay.
The Kukizu community, the CSOs and the people are saying that these are village volunteers. So, what is your response to that? Are they village volunteers? Are they militants? Because they are taking up arms. This has become an armed conflict. So, what is your response to that? Are they village volunteers or are they militants? What is your take?
Okay. See, when you say a militant, or maybe the term which they coined as cookie militants, the word militant means that a group of people who presses the public, who defies the state government, the current institution, and who harass the people. Now, I think you have just passed through Imphal. What is the situation there? So isn't that a proof that militancy is there? Now, when you come to Kangpokpi, we have our volunteers who are guarding the borders, who are not even bothering the people. We are living in a relative calm. So how can you coin our village volunteers as a militants when you know that your own the own state, the capital is in chaos? I think the CM or the people in Imphal needs to check their house in order first before pointing fingers at us.
Lastly, one important question is that how do you see this conflict panning out in the future course of action? Will there be any reconciliation? Because the central government is in talks and is saying that dialogue is the way forward.
True.
However, I have seen here posters of a demand for separate administration by the Kukizu community organizations here. Separate administration, dialogue, reconciliation, peace effort. What is the course of action going forward?
Who doesn't want peace? But for peace to come, there needs to be a semblance of law and order. So when you talk about peace, you mean to say that the absence of violence. So in the absence of violence, peace can be achieved. That's what we want. But to say that we need peace and force the two communities to sit together, I think that's not going to come. The only way forward for peace to be in the region is to expedite the talks that are ongoing with the government of India between the Kuki underground groups that is under the suspension of operation.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying is that I know it is onus upon the central government to initiate dialogue between the two communities face to face. But what guarantee is there? What guarantee is there when you sit together there would be peace and there would be reconciliation? I don't think there is any. As far as you can see there in Jiribam, there was twice a peace talk between the two communities. And that talks has been boldly, abrogated by the majority and Meitei community. So how can the Kukizo community trust such a talk? So what the center needs to do is, it needs a political intervention, not the security aspect. Now we have 50 more columns of CAPF. So do you think it will solve the problem? Definitely not. In fact, it will create more chaos.
How do you respond to the allegations made against the Kukizu civil society organizations such as the CoTU that they are being backed by an armed militia, first of all?
Okay.
And secondly, how do you respond to the allegation that you guys are trying to divide Manipur? Because that has been a criticism leveled against the organizations, and we are asking your opinion on this.
Okay. Firstly, let's get back to the first incident. Who is the person who divide the people? Is it the Kuki community? No. The 3rd of May incident has led to the polarization and the complete segregation of both the communities. We have been driven away from Infal. Okay, now how is that we are being pointed fingers at us? We have never demanded for a separate state before. We have never. So it is him, the current chief minister. He is the perpetrators of this issue. And second part of the question is that CoTU has been backed by militants. What you're talking about, Kuki militants? Arey, we are for the people, I'll tell you. But I'll clarify on that. CoTU stands for Committee on Tribal Unity within all Sada Hills district, including the underground groups, because they are part of my community. So in that sense, we are covering them up. But I don't think there's a proof that we have been supported by underground.
So this is the spokesperson of the CoTU. We spoke about the situation on ground in the Kuki Zoo dominated area of the Kangpokpi district. We have been traveling across Manipur. We have gone to Churchanpur. We have gone to the valleys of Manipur, and we have spoken to different stakeholders, including the valley-based Meitei organization and the chief minister. All the interview links are on the description below. It is for the public to listen to all the different stakeholders and form their opinion. That is what these conversations with the NewsX plan to do. With video journalist Nishan, this is Nibir reporting on ground for NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.